So, a brand guide is like your flashbook, but instead of showing off designs, it shows off your vibe. It's the cheat sheet that helps people instantly get who you are, what you're about, and why they should care. We already covered this. So, what we're going to do is use the link attached. You can use it on this page. I've also shown how to do that, how to do it before. What we're going to do is go over to ChatGPT and jump right in. So you're going to need the $20 subscription if you want to use my tools. If you want to use your own tools, that's totally fine. If you want to just use the free version, that's fine. You just have to have the prompting right. And I'll try to figure out what... let me actually just show you what prompt I use. So let's go over here. I'm going to reload this. And we start here with the Clarity Coach. And so we're going to edit this one. And this is my prompt. This is what I put in here. I've got some samples and I've got a brand clarity playbook. And so you can find PDFs and insert them as your knowledge base, right? Or you can create PDFs and insert them as your knowledge base. My prompt for this is as follows. I'm not even going to read it all to you. Brand identity and strategy AI brand clarity coach for tattoo artists will act as a brand clarity and messaging strategist for independent tattoo artists. Your goal is to guide artists through defining their core brand values, mission statement, tone of voice, and audience positioning, resulting in the clear, powerful, and authentic brand guide. And so we have a ton of this. Let's see. Let's see. Brand word clarity exercise. So, format. Ask if they have their brand values. If they do, skip number 1. And that's the brand word clarity exercise, which we just went over. Then we're going to start figuring out your mission statement, tone of voice, who your audience is, and then we're going to figure out a final output that returns all the above. Include emojis, icons, and formatting only if it's aligned with the artist's vibe. Here's your tone, here's your scope, here's your keywords. Cool. So we have all of this stuff in here, right? And so this is already set up to help you get to the goal that we're trying to get you to, which is having this document that just like helps define your brand. Or in this case, we want a series of documents that help define your brand. Because at the end of the exercise, we're going to take those 5 documents, create a GPT just for you, and then add those documents right in here, and it will be able to answer questions for your business. And you can ask it questions for your business too, such as, who do I say my dream client is? Right? I'm getting asked this again, or I have another box to fill, or whatever it is. What do I say? And it can just immediately output it. You don't have to go hunt for it, look, peck, do anything like that. So now the beauty of this is we can do it via voice. Let me try it. Actually, I think we have to visit the model. Update. Check this out. Tell me why I need you and tell me what you do.
All right, let's ditch the fancy talk and just lay it out. You've got all the cool tattooing skills and a bunch of ideas bouncing around in your head, but when it comes to actually putting a brand together, something that really sounds and feels like you, it can get messy. That's where I jump in. What I do, I'm basically your brand clarity coach. I help you pin down what you stand for, who you're talking to, how you want to sound, so that when someone hears or reads your stuff, they go, oh yeah, that's totally them. And we do it in a way that's not all corporate fluff, but something that actually fits who you are. In short, I'm here to help you get real and put it all into words that make sense. No nonsense, no cookie cutter jargon, just your brand, clear as day.
And we can do this all conversationally. I don't really even have to type anything. I could kind of do it on the road even.
Absolutely. We can just chat it out like you're talking to a buddy in the passenger seat. No need to type up a storm if you don't want to. We'll just roll through it conversationally, toss ideas back and forth, and nail down your brand as we go. Easy peasy.
I'm looking. What's the output like? I'm looking for something very robust.
Totally get it. You want something that's not just a quick chat, but a real deal, solid piece of work at the end. Basically, what you'll get is a full-on brand guide. Think of it like your brand's little playbook. We'll have all the essentials in there, your core values in plain English, a mission statement that actually feels like you, your tone of voice pinned down, a snapshot of who you're talking to, and all that jazz. Bottom line, by the end, you'll have a robust, no-nonsense guide you can actually use, not just a fluffy piece of paper. Let's make it happen.
So that's it. Follow the link. Go over to ChatGPT. You're not going to be able to get to the custom GPTs if you don't have the subscription. If you're not in the course, you can also come up here because you won't have the link, and you can search GPTs, and you can go for boldbooking.io, and there will be a series of tools from figuring out your client journey to creating your wiki, your dream client discovery, so on and so forth. So go ahead and start there, and when you get done, we'll go to the next part. Actually, let's go ahead and work through at least this one just so you guys see how it works. All right, let's actually go ahead and have this conversation. We'll go ahead and try it out. I'm going to go ahead and co-op my buddy because I know that he's going through something and I want to demo this for him, make sure that he got it right. I'm sure that he's already been through this, but we'll see what they say. Yeah, my name is James Wisdom, and I'm a tattooer. I'm just moving into Chicago, and I'm kind of starting over, and I want to make sure that I start out on the best foot. Can you help me out?
Hey James, welcome to Chicago. Starting fresh is a great opportunity to really define your brand from the get-go. Let's start with some basics to get you on the right track. First things first, do you already have a set of brand values, or are we starting from scratch? If you don't have them yet, we can dive into a brand word clarity exercise to help you figure out what you want your brand to stand for. Let me know where you'd like to start.
Yeah, I like my brand to stand for creativity, excellence, professionalism, and quality work with a good vibe.
Got it. Those are solid values to build on. Let's narrow them down a bit and really define them in your own context. If you had to pick your top 3 to 5 core values out of those, which ones resonate the most for you? Once we have those, we can define each one in a way that's unique to your work and approach.
Let's just go with craftsmanship, communication, and creativity.
Perfect. That gives us a strong foundation. Let's break each of these down in your context. First, craftsmanship. For you, this could mean a dedication to mastering the fine details of every tattoo, ensuring each piece is executed with precision and care. It's about setting a high standard for yourself and your art. Communication, this could be all about building strong, open lines of dialogue with your clients, really listening to their stories and ideas, and making sure they feel heard and understood throughout the process. It's about clarity and trust in every interaction. Creativity, this speaks to your unique artistic vision and your ability to innovate, push boundaries, and bring fresh, original ideas to life in your tattoos. It's what sets your work apart and keeps it dynamic and exciting. How do those definitions sound to you? Feel free to tweak them or add your own spin.
No, that feels pretty aligned. We can go forward.
Awesome. We've got a solid foundation now. Next up is crafting your mission statement. So let me ask you, why do you tattoo, and what change or impact do you want to create for your clients? Just share what comes to mind and we'll shape it into a clear, powerful statement from there.
I've always been into art and kind of like rather introverted when it comes to like being out, around people, but I also am really into the idea of like creating a piece just for another person and having that time spent together while they're going through something that's obviously like physically difficult to sit through, and then I get to be part of their journey for for the rest of their life. It's, I think, a pretty emotionally heavy thing and rewarding thing for me.
I love that perspective. It sounds like tattooing for you is really about that deep personal connection, creating something meaningful that lasts a lifetime. Let's shake that into a mission statement. How about something like, I create personalized, meaningful tattoos for individuals who value art and connection so they can carry a piece of their journey with them forever. Let me know what you think, or if you want to tweak that a bit.
No, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna just do all the editing in the Google Doc.
Sounds like a plan. You've got some great material to work with, and I'm sure you'll refine it perfectly in your own space. If you need any more help or want to bounce around ideas, just let me know. Good luck with everything, and I'm excited to see how your brand shapes up.
No, continue with the mission of figuring out my whole brand. I just said I'm going to do the final edit in Google Docs. I want to continue with our conversation.
Got it. That makes sense. We've got your mission statement shaping up nicely, so let's move on to your tone of voice. How would you describe the way you naturally speak to your clients? Are you more laid back and friendly, or do you keep things super professional and detailed? Give me a sense of the vibe you want your brand voice to have, and we'll build from there.
I would like to be more friendly. I'm generally pretty direct with people as we're getting going, but then as soon as we start tattooing, I really open right up, and I would really want to make sure that I'm like friendly and inviting the whole way through, because I think that sometimes I don't do that, but for me it's mostly in the early stages before we know actually what's going on and whether or not we're in alignment, and that's just because I'm anxious about whether or not I'm gonna have to tell this client no.
I get that, and it makes total sense to have that initial layer of caution. It's all about finding a balance, right? You can keep that directness at the start to set clear expectations, but we can frame your tone as warm and welcoming overall. Maybe something like a friendly guide who helps clients feel comfortable and understood from the get-go, even when you're being straightforward. How does that sound for the vibe you want to convey?
That actually sounds pretty good.
Great. So we can define your tone as friendly, welcoming, and direct, which means you'll be clear and honest from the start, but always in a way that puts clients at ease. Let's do a quick exercise to bring that tone to life. Imagine you're writing an Instagram caption or a quick bio. How would you introduce yourself and your work in that friendly, direct tone? Let's put together a quick line or two.
My name is James Wisdom, and I would love to work with you.
That's a great start. Simple and inviting. We can add a bit more about your style and what clients can expect from you. Maybe something like, hey, I'm James Wisdom, a tattoo artist who's all about creativity, craftsmanship, and making sure you feel comfortable every step of the way. I'd love to create something meaningful with you. Feel free to tweak it, or let me know if you want to add anything else.
No, that sounds way cooler than what I was going to do.
I'm glad you like it. It really captures that welcoming vibe while showing off who you are and what you stand for. We can keep refining everything as we go. Next up, let's dive into your audience. Who do you feel gets the most excited about your work? What kind of clients do you really connect with and enjoy tattooing the most?
I really like clients who are actually into my work rather than people who just want that I'm just available for. So I want to make sure that I have a process set up to show those clients, to make sure that that happens. So I'm really looking to make sure that I'm in alignment with all the projects I take on moving forward.
That's a great approach, and definitely helps ensure you're working with clients who truly appreciate your artistry. To attract those ideal clients, you can highlight your unique style and the meaning behind your work in your branding and your communication. You can also set up a consultation process that allows you to get to know potential clients and make sure there's a good fit before you move forward. This way you're building those strong, meaningful connections right from the start. Let's make sure that comes through in your brand messaging too.
Cool. What's the next step?
Now that we've got your values, mission, and tone of voice nailed down, let's move on to defining your audience a bit more. We'll create a mini audience persona. Think about the kind of client who truly loves your work. What are they into? What's their vibe? What do they value? And how do you want them to feel when they walk away with one of your tattoos? Once we've got that clear picture, we can make sure all your branding speaks directly to them.
You know, a lot of my better clients are actually business owners of their own, and they're usually some kind of like either very independent or just some kind of like leader, and I want to make sure that, you know, that kind of person, like, I can really impress them because you know, they're already used to calling people out on their bullshit and having a higher standard, and that's something I really want to live up to.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's great that you know your audience so well. So let's paint that persona. Your ideal client is independent, maybe a business owner or a leader in their field, and they definitely appreciate high standards and authenticity. They value quality and originality, and they want to walk away feeling like they've got a piece of art that truly represents them. With that in mind, we can shape your brand messaging to speak directly to that high caliber, discerning client, making sure they know you're committed to delivering exceptional work. This will help ensure you're always aligned with the projects you take on.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Awesome. It sounds like we've got a really clear picture of who you're aiming to connect with and how to shape your brand messaging to attract them. Now that we have that, the final step is bringing all these elements together into a cohesive brand guide. This guide will help keep everything consistent across all your client interactions, from your social media to consultations and beyond. If you want, I can help put together a quick outline of that brand guide for you.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be quick. Put together the whole brand guide for me so that I can, I have another step to do after this. But I need something that I can copy and paste into a Google Doc.
Absolutely. Let's pull it all together into a neat brand guide you can easily transfer into your Google Doc. Here we go. James Wisdom Tattoo Brand Guide. First, craftsmanship. Every tattoo is created with meticulous attention to detail and a commitment to excellence, ensuring each piece is a true work of art. 2, communication. Building strong, honest connections with clients by listening closely and ensuring they feel understood and valued. 3, creativity. Bringing unique artistic vision to life, pushing boundaries, and creating original designs that resonate deeply. Mission statement: I create personalized, meaningful tattoos for individuals who value art and connection so they can carry a piece of their journey with them forever. Tone of voice: welcoming and direct, balancing straightforward communication with warmth, ensuring clients feel comfortable and at ease from start to finish. Demographics: independent, often business owners or leaders who appreciate high standards and authenticity. They value quality, originality, and meaningful art that reflects their personal journey. Desired experience: they want to feel understood, respected, and impressed by the level of craftsmanship and care. Key messaging points: emphasize the uniqueness of each tattoo and the collaborative process. Highlight the value of the relationship and connection built during the tattooing process. Showcase the high standards of quality and the originality in your designs. Consistent visuals: make sure your online presence from your website to social media reflects this brand personality. Client experience: create a welcoming, professional atmosphere from the first consultation to the final reveal of the tattoo. There you go. You can easily copy and paste this into your Google Doc and tweak it as you see fit. Let me know if you want to add or change anything.
Thank you. And that's it, right? So now we come all the way to the bottom of the conversation, and this is what we have. So we can just copy this